Good evening.
Are we live? I always feel like I'm on Eurovision Song Contest when I say that.
We are live, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Any Other Business.
Any Other Business. We are here this evening. As always, we've been bringing you some extra Any Other Business to the Business Mix. Every Wednesday evening at 7:30, you can catch us here live on Facebook, where we are talking to the, would you say brave, would you say daring, would you say extraordinarily entrepreneurs who have decided to start up, change, do something different, launch a new business, or pivot, which I hate that word, but I would say maneuver into a new business space during the lockdown. And I think we've had, Chrissy, you'll agree, we've had some great guests doing amazing things.
This is only our 4th episode, but we've had some really great guests.
And very excited to have with us Dayna Byfield, who, I don't know, you're just doing amazing things right now. Yes, please give us a very short, I mean, I am pretty certain anybody watching knows who you are, but give us a short introduction to you and what your business is or your ventures are.
Yeah, I love that short introduction. And why is it that people have such a negative view of the word pivot? I love that word. I think of the ballerina when someone's dancing around and doing wonderful things. But I am Dayna Byfield, otherwise known as Dynamite, dynamic.
Love it.
So you can guess what's going to be coming for the next 10, 15, 20 minutes. You better get your notepad. You get a pen. We're going to be bringing fire. We're going to be bringing that heat, and we are going to be
absolutely
level. So very short biography. I grew up in quite difficult financial circumstances. My dad was in prison, grew up in a single parent home. What we lacked in money, my mother made up for more than in spades in terms of her ability to communicate with absolutely anybody. It could be the bin person, it could be the post person, it could be the prime minister, it could just be, an alien from space. She was equally comfortable. So I had a fantastic education in really how to influence people. I became a mum in my teens, experienced homelessness in my early 20s. And the lowest day for me was kind of being evicted from my home, having all of my possessions kind of put outside by the bailiffs and thinking, how did I get hit?
Wow.
Long story short, I decided that I would educate myself about what wealthy people do with money, because I was the issue. I've done a bunch of things in my career. I've worked in the legal system. I've worked in education. I previously had the shoes and handbag business. I've done coaching.
Wow.
I've led organizations that have, revenue into the hundreds of millions. I used to run a financial education company. And in the last 30 days, have started a new company, incorporated on incorporated on the 21st of May, my own namesake, Dayna Byfield Limited.
Excellent.
What we do is help you blow up your life. And how do we do that? We do that by helping you as a person, because I work with a lot of business people, but the challenge is you bring yourself to the business. So any limits and beliefs you have in the way of where you want to go. So we got to deal with you, we got to deal with the business, and essentially taking over the world. Coaching, mentoring, kicking some serious ass, because we all need someone to kick our ass. There's no nice way to say it. To keep us accountable, but really help us really grow the vision and grow what we feel is potential in the universe on a one-to-one, in a group basis also. And when I'm not busy taking over the world, I like to host nice things like 5-star luxury retreats in St. Lucia.
Yeah.
Who doesn't? Who doesn't? Come on.
Who doesn't? So I'm going to call you Miss Dynamite from now on, because I love it. This is exactly who you are.
Oh, you can't hear her. Oh, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, I'll act as an interpreter then. Chrissy said she's going to call you Miss Dynamite from now on. Like, that's your name throughout the rest of the interview.
So I was saying, let's focus on this 30 days.
We're having a slight technical hitch.
Okay, let me go and come back.
All right, Chrissy's going to go and come back, and it will just be me and you for now. It will just be me and you for now. She'll go and come back. Right. So what Chrissy was saying was, what she just said was, okay, let's focus on the last 30 days. So what's happened, or I guess we could say what happened previous to the last 30 days, which made you decide that actually, I need to start my, a business for me as me, Dayna Byfield Limited.
Can you hear me?
Do you know what it was? I have 2 boys. One is 19 in a few days and one is 5. And about 4 weeks before the lockdown happened, my youngest was sick. So I was at home, was stressing out, can't go and see clients, etc., etc.
Yeah.
So I was like, this is not the reason why I went into business in the first place. My family was supposed to be at the center of everything. And I realized that I'd now gone, 180 degrees away from where I wanted to be in the first place. And as any, entrepreneur would do, just say, okay, this isn't working for me anymore. And actually, where do I show up the best? What do I love? Where do people resonate with me anyway? Where is my skill set? Where do I have contacts? And let's keep it moving. I thought it was an ideal time. I already have an established brand and platform, contacts, etc. So it just felt like the natural next step to then pivot, pivot, and lean into what I feel was destined for me anyway.
Yeah. Chris, are you back with us? Can you hear us?
Can everyone hear me?
I can hear you.
Yes.
Woohoo! Okay, so you missed that, but basically what Dayna had said is that one of her sons was ill. This is what's happened in the last 30 days, and she was rushing around trying to fit everything in, and kind of thought, hold on, why am I doing this? This isn't the reason why I went into business. So she then decided to basically take stock of her skills, resources, attributes, what people say she's good at, what she loves doing, and decided, you know what, I'm going to package all this up and set something up for herself. Is that right?
Yeah.
There you go. Thanks, Chris. Yes. Out of the old.
So far, how's it going so far, Dayna?
Really, really good. That bank account is chiching in like today. That's my favorite sound when I hear the money dropping in. I love that. But the thing that's even better than that is the response that I've had from people who had literally been like, well, I thought you were going to do that anyway, so it's a natural progression. Or, we really resonate with your story. We really value what you do. But actually, it's been also quite challenging as well as it's been good. And I'm a transparent person. I like to give the whole spectrum, not just all the good stuff. On the 18th of May, I had a complete meltdown. And it was triggered by an event that I won't go into, but I went into this, thoughts are very powerful things. And over the years, because I've made so many mistakes, done so many things wrong, failed so many times, I have a tried and tested process that I take myself through when things start to go wrong. So instead of using the process, I just allowed myself to let this thought take me away. And before I knew it, I was thinking, I don't have any purpose in life. What am I doing? I'm just floating around. I sat outside my house for 20 minutes and was crying, and that's not like me. And it really was an opportunity for me to be confronted by the fact that there's still work to do in this particular area, because that was triggered by something very specific, which I thought I had dealt with. So the good thing is I was like, okay, I need to do some work here and some soul searching. And that's the great thing about growing and learning and developing, that there's always something more to do. Unfortunately, a lot of the time we find out when these happenings happen. And then, as any crazy entrepreneur does, 2 days later, I just went and incorporated a new company. After I wallowed in it for the Monday. By Tuesday, I was like, right, okay, enough of that now. What am I actually going to do moving forward? Yeah. The specific issue that triggered me was my life's very much been a series of happenings. So opportunities have presented themselves, and I've taken those opportunities, or I've created a lane or created a space. And the triggering was that I hadn't actually planned. So I hadn't said, oh, this is where I'm going to be. Yeah. And this is where I ended up as a consequence of that plan. And then I turned around the next day and I was like, but actually it's a real skill to be able to identify opportunity, and for the right thing to come at the right time, you take the right actions to make it successful. That is a real skill. So instead of being down on myself because I haven't micromanaged and planned absolutely everything, actually look at the skill set that you've built here, and then took it away, and the rest is history.
And I can actually be a witness, because I think Dayna said, oh, I'm looking for somewhere to register my business. and I suggested somewhere, and then like 10 minutes later, she was like, "All right, yeah, I've done it now." There was no deliberation. Like it was done. It was done. That was it. It wasn't, "Oh, let me go away and think about it and come back." It's like, no, the plan has been set. This is my mindset. This is the action that I know I need to take to get to where I need to be, and it was just done. Absolutely. And
I think during this time, a lot of people are taking those risks, and they're like, I haven't got anything to lose. Let me do it now. And we're seeing more people like you, Dayna, just doing what they need to do, want to do, are passionate about during this time, which I think is brilliant. And that's why we have the show.
Sorry, say that again?
And that's why we have this show.
Yeah, I think the most important thing is to understand that it doesn't have to be the finished product. So note to everyone listening, I don't currently have a website or anything like that. I don't currently have all of my services, you know, all written down, and I know exactly what they look like. I don't have any brochures. I don't have any stationery. I don't have a logo. Yes, I do have a registered company and an accountant and a bank account and a business address and a director's address and a trading address and insurance. Before anyone wants to come up in here like my thing isn't proper, what I'm saying is sometimes we pontificate so much about things that, like the website, and I have to have the logo, and I have to have all of the business. I don't actually realize that there are people out there that want what we have to offer, that need what we have to offer, that we can provide value to those people, and they will exchange their money for the value that we can provide. So as long as you can prove that your business or your service or your organization is valuable, don't wait until you've got all of the other, what I call the trimmings. The most important thing is to have your business base and foundation in place, of course. Like, no one's saying you should just be running like a banshee, doing a catering company and not having a food hygiene certificate. No. Don't mistake what I'm saying. What I'm saying is I don't have none of that. So people are like, oh, have you got a website? No, but this is a list of our current services. Actually, a couple of days ago, I thought actually I could be serving people more, but because I started to creep into that thing of, oh, but I haven't got this and I haven't got that. And I think today already we've taken something like 500 quid today. And that's just off the back of a couple of Facebook Lives. Someone saying, I want to work with you. How much is your consultation? And I practice what I preach. I tell people my stuff isn't cheap, and yet no, you're not getting a discount, because I've been doing this for 15 years. That's why I can show you in 10 minutes how you can move yourself forward. You've been trying for 2 years, and I can take you further forward in 10 minutes than you have yourself in 2. So no, this is what it is. It's 195 or whatever it is, £500. This is what it is, because I am valuable, and what I have to provide to you is valuable. And that's something that I was teaching about on Monday. A lot of us do not value ourselves highly enough. So what we then price ourselves at is asymptomatic of the personal value that we ascribe to ourselves and what we do. Because if that person, somebody else that values you, will want to, and we'll say, that's a fair exchange.
I think it's really important as well, just what you were saying at the beginning. I mean, I'm going to come back to how we value ourselves and how we see ourselves versus actually the value that other people see in you. But something that you said right at the beginning as you started talking was basically run with what you have. So people might call it kind of like, your minimum viable product, or, is it the lean startup? A lean startup. So you take your raw kind of... lots of different phrases. That means the same thing. You start with what you have and you grow with that. So a lot of us, we'll wait until I've got my service exactly the way that I want it to be. But actually, what you might consider the unfinished product, someone's looking for that. Someone is actually putting put a price and a value on that already. So I think we need to, as Chrissy said, like, this is a kind of at the time that we can take those risks that we probably wouldn't do before. We can step out, we can test, we can see what will work and what doesn't. Because I think it's important to remember, even the, top entrepreneur that you could think of, business owner that you could think of, they've still got ideas, and their product to them probably isn't the finished article either. They still want to improve, and they still want to grow, and they still want to move as well. Right. Yeah. So waiting until you think that this is perfect, you might not move anywhere. You might not get anywhere.
Exactly. Most of us are using a smartphone, and we get a notification every now and then to say, update, upgrade.
Exactly.
So I believe that for most people, it's actually a handy excuse to say, oh, well, I haven't got the website, I haven't got a database, I haven't got an email list, I haven't got a logo, I haven't got an assistant. It's because you've got a limiting belief that without those things, you can't move forward, or you're procrastinating. Because for me, procrastination is just a sign of stress. There's something that is stressing you. So actually, the act of not doing what you know you should be doing, you're actually trying to soothe yourself. So I'm going to soothe myself by pretending that I'm going to shuffle this stack of papers, or I'm going to watch Netflix instead of looking at a business plan or prepping my food for tomorrow, because there's something that is stressing us. So we have to deal with the actual underlying cause, the stressor, and then that will remove the procrastination so that we can move forward. But let's just keep it real. We live in a society, we live in families, and we live in communities, all well-meaning, but they teach us to be small. They teach us to play safe. They teach us to fear making mistakes.
Absolutely.
So then we don't want to make the mistake by not having everything in order. But listen, doing it is always going to be better than perfection, because even if you do it wrong, you now have identified a way not to do it again in
next
the future.
time.
The most successful people in life, business, marriage, education are people that have done it wrong a bunch of times, because you learn so much more when you do it wrong. You can go through the process step by step, vis-a-vis what you learn when you do it right. So I always encourage people I always say that the quality of your life in no small way is down to the quality of questions that you are able to ask of yourself and of others.
Absolutely.
So what do I mean by that? So I always look at problems as an opportunity to grow and actually solve something, because problem actually comes from the root emblem. Okay. Now, most people get stuck in, okay, I can't do this, or I don't know. But if you start to ask probing questions such as, okay, well, what do I know? What information do I have? Who can I speak to? What can I research? What resources do I have? You're now hardwiring your brain to come up with some solutions for you. The minute you say the word I can't, or you think that you can't, you literally shut your brain down. You can't do anything. So the more you're able to ask good quality questions of yourself that are going to give you answers, lead to you moving forward, then you'll be able to do that of the other people around you. So you'll be able to work out, who can you help? Who can you serve? Who can help you?
Absolutely.
But we're not how to ask ourselves quality questions. We're normally taught how to evade negative, and we must get an A on that test, and we must get it right, which is the antithesis for success, because you cannot become successful in any field, whether that's being a successful mother or sister or learning a language. Failure is stepping stones to success. That's what failure is. That's how I look at it. You can't get to a successful place or to your full potential if you're always worrying about failing. So we as society has conditioned us in that way. Our responsibility is to unlearn that conditioning and relearn how to build our own resilience and proper questioning of ourselves and others, so that we can actually move forward.
So what if we, as you said, mindset, reframing what we know, it's not let's take out the word failure out of it, and let's just replace that with learning. Let's just replace that with something that is a positive, because if you do something and you don't get the intended result that you wanted or that you thought, how can you turn that into a positive? And as you said, you learn, you've experienced, actually, I've done that this way and it didn't work out the way I wanted it to. So now I can pivot, move, maneuver, change, whatever it might be, to something else, to something better. So is this the kind of work that services that you're providing? Are you what can people, because you're dropping some gems now, and I have a feeling that people are going to want they're going to want to get in touch with you and to know how can you help them move from A to B or from A to Z. Who knows how many letters they're going to jump. So what can you services are you offering right now?
Yeah, so I've got a number of services. So I'm very, very focused on, I love solving problems. That's me. I'm a visionary and I see connections between things. There's nothing that I love better than getting to the nitty-gritty of a problem and coaching either individuals or organizations who want to move forward. Right. So I have a program where individuals can come along and work with me. It's going to be exclusively pretty much on a group basis. I'm phasing out doing one-to-one coaches. I have a few spaces left up until the end of June, simply because it's not viable for me to run a business in that way anymore. I also want to impact more people, so group settings make much more sense. And here's the crux of the matter, right? We all know that there is so much more potential in us than what we're exhibiting right now. Most people know that. Even if they don't know how much more, they know that they're behaving below par. Yeah. But one of the other challenges that we have is that there's nobody to kick our ass about it. There's no other way to say that politely. And there's been no one to help us actually strategize ourselves out of that mindset and into action. So I'm a very no nonsense, keeping it real person. What do we need to do to move you from A to Z or A to B or halfway between A and B? Because that may be where you're at. So where do you want to go? Why haven't you done it yet? Because if you're capable, you should have done it by now. There's something that we need to work on, to undo, to relearn. And often it's people's self-worth. I do so much work in terms of, people have set points. So you have a set point, for example, financially, which just is an amount of money that you think is either enough or B, you think is too much money. Right. So for some people, 100 grand a year might be too much for them. So even if they earn £100,000 in their head, they've said it's too much. So you'll never do what it will take because you've said it's too much. So you've got to undo that mindset and work out, where did that seep into your head that is too much? Because there's people that have earned that whilst we've been talking. It's not too much. True. Because if you don't have it and you're a good person, who's going to have the money? All the bad people then are going to have the money and go and do badness with it. Yeah. You have a financial set point. You have a set point financially. You have a set point in terms of relationships. So previously, my set point was that I would never be married because marriage wasn't for me. Consequently, I couldn't find anybody to have a serious relationship with that worked and was long lasting. Because as much as I'm saying I want this type of person, my set point in relationships is that marriage doesn't work and it's not for me. So what am I going to get? Yeah. What my set point is. So I had to unlearn that set point, where those false beliefs came from. There's an entirely false belief for anybody that thinks A, marriage doesn't work, or B, it's not for them. Something in your mind or your experience has told you that lie, and you now replay that to yourself so many times that even when the decent woman or the decent guy comes along that would actually freaking marry you and love you and settle down, you can't see them because that's not your set point. All you can see are the girls that are, or women that are not for you, or the men that are not for you, because you have the thing in your mind that needs to be killed first. We need to kill it dead, build ourselves back up to the point where if we're a guy, I can find an amazing lady to settle down with and get married. If we're a woman, I can find an amazing guy, and I will find an amazing guy. But it won't happen. I hear so many people saying, "Oh, I can't find great women. I can't find a great guy." And I'm walking around seeing amazing men and women all the time because you have a negative self-belief, and that's what shows up in your life.
I'll just go to cut in because I think that's the mindset again about how we look at our businesses. Just as we were saying, people have all these great ideas, and in their minds and their set point is that they don't think they can achieve those things, but really it's these negative stereotypes in their head. But I'm going to move it on quickly because we're kind of running out of time already. So you're kind of known as a speaker, as a coach, and during these times a lot of things are happening. There's a lot of events that have been postponed, cancelled. Where do you see the industry going post-COVID for you as well, for your business?
I definitely see that a lot of what we're doing now will be maintained. I mean, I already had a network that expanded 6 continents anyway, but I have been in much more regular communication with people all around the world and working with people now all around the world. And it's just opened us up to a different way of thinking because we've been able to see it first. Automatically, we now can believe. Whereas normally we're having to create that belief and then we see it later. I think there are always going to be people that are going to want to go to live events, who are going to want to meet people, who are going to want to work with people, who are going to want to do the face-to-face thing. And there is nothing quite like being in a room with somebody. It's just magnetic and electric. However, as an addition, a lot of people have seen where they're wasting a lot of time and a lot of resources, even just removing travel from their lives, and how much stress travel and the running up and down. So people have now seen, actually, I can work in different ways. I can work with different people. I can do different things. So I've hosted on and off for years. But during COVID-19, I think I probably hosted about seven different events, most of which have been online. And now I'm moving, as the world is opening up again, I'm moving into in-person events. I've got a retreat that I'm hosting tomorrow, one in July, a beautiful farm, women's wellness retreat, and I've got a 5-star luxury 7-day retreat in St. Lucia that I'm going to be hosting in September. Don't be jealous, come.
I know, don't be jealous.
Exactly. I'm already I'm already trying to think, September, kids go back to school. What date? Is it the end? Is it the beginning? Like, what's going on? Oh, wow. Yeah, so, I mean, you've seen that it's going to open up. You know, people are still as you said, they still want to connect in person. We can use technology as we're doing this evening. We can't get into the studio. However, we can utilize the technology that we've got. As you said, nothing is that kind of face-to-face contact, meeting someone, catching their vibe, feeling their energy, and working from there. So I'm hoping that there's still going to be able to be a good mix of live events. But I can't lie, I've enjoyed putting my feet up on my sofa, doing those webinars, seminars, meetings. You know, it's been nice. It's been really nice.
Very much so. I believe you. Right, one more question before we go. So, top tips, Dayna. What top tips would you give kind of speakers and coaches to kind of gain the confidence of their audience, especially now, to get them out, to get them motivated?
Yeah, I think that one of the things that's so important, if you're, even if you're not a speaker or a coach, if you're serving anybody, you are a speaker. In my mind, we were talking about, your clients, Chrissy, that you interact with and how that has changed. It's really understanding that first and foremost, that we have something of value to offer. And that it's not about us, it's about the people who are receiving the value. I find when you're able to shift the focus, it makes it a lot easier for people to kind of be like, okay, I need to do my thing. There is somebody somewhere out there that needs you, that needs your business, that needs your organization, that needs what you do. And most importantly, actually looking for you right now. They are looking for you. They are asking for a solution. They are asking the universe to send them something. And we all know, as individuals, organizations, speakers, coaching, we have also been asking for opportunities. We have been asking for the next level. We have been asking for the next big thing. So we need to be able to tune into the universe and be able to be open enough to now receive what we've asked for. Because sometimes people are there praying for things, but because it comes dressed in work, when it finds you, you don't want to take the opportunity. Do you see what I'm saying? So absolutely. You need that there's somebody looking for what you do, and be careful what you ask for, because it might just come true.
I love that. Be careful what you ask for, or be very specific.
Very specific
in what you ask for. No point praying for a husband or wife. You don't say what type of husband or wife that you want, because you never know what you're going to get.
There you go. And if you're out here praying for a husband or wife and they turn up, y'all better be ready to do some work.
Our time has been spent. 30 minutes has gone already so quickly. Thank you so much, Dayna. It was a quick stop, but I loved it. It's been amazing. I'm wishing you all the best. I'm loving did you got a retreat? Is it tomorrow?
Tomorrow, right?
You've got a retreat tomorrow?
Mind Soul retreat on a beautiful farm villa in Essex with horses and 200 acres of land and pool and barbecue and fitness and yoga and all types of yummy stuff. So Instagram handles, my first or second name. Contact me on Instagram. You can email
there.
me.
I hope you can see it.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Connect with
Instagram at Dayna Byfield. Yes.
Yeah, you can book a consultation through Linktree and Instagram as well. And let's do this. 2020 is our year because we've said so, and we're going to do the work. And we are about to put some sticks of dynamite up 2020 and blow it.
I love it. Love it.
Fantastic.
Thank you so much. And good luck tomorrow.
Take care. Good luck tomorrow. Christine.
Rachel, thank you so much as always.
And we will see you next week.
And we'll see you next week. All right then. Bye.